This is the Transparency Podcast Show with hosts Shelby Chang and Michelle Herman from Long Beach, California, where we bring you life transformation stories, business, investment, personal development, entertainment, and more.
Welcome back to Transparency Podcast Show. Hi, Michelle. Happy Pride.
Hi, Shelby. Happy Pride. It is June.
Yes. So when we're recording this episode, it's beginning of June. There's a lot of activities, festivals going around the city.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be in Long Beach.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about money, right?
Yes.
Money talks.
Yes, exactly. We wanted to look a little bit in depth of kind of the financial situation that our community is in, LGBTQ in general, but specifically with our trans siblings.
Right.
And what's happening, how did COVID affect that?
Yes.
And just kind of look at just trying to figure out what the reality is. Mm-hmm. And there's a few reasons we're going to do this. First is because we have to know the reality if we want to try to solve something, right?
Yes,
you have to know the problem if you're going to move forward with something. So we wanted to kind of take this in depth a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And by pointing out those issues and problems, we're going to also share our own experience.
Yes.
And see how can we overcome those struggles or problem issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened is a lot of immigrants, including my family, when we first come here, we don't speak any English. Okay. So the only thing to survive, to make money, is to open business, small business. Right. So I grew up involved in small business family, restaurant, Chinese restaurant. So I see how my parents work so hard. Yeah. Like their hours is like 12, 15 hours. So I was grow up as a microwave kid, meaning there's no,
your mom's busy,
they're busy and all that. So that's why so this is one of the reasons we are doing this, and for our community and also for, dreamers. We all come here.
Yeah. The intersection of not only cultural issues, but then also gender identification, sexual attraction, all those things on top. It just adds more layers to that issue.
Right. So, and the third one we're going to point out, the reason we're doing this is because we just had pandemic, and actually it's still here. It's not going away.
Numbers are going up again.
Yeah. So a lot of people, I say a lot of people run into trouble, health, or financial, but there's a lot of people also have a benefit of the event. Yeah. So if you are affected by the pandemic, then we can, talk about it, and we have some solution based on yours and my experience on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good. And then the final reason we want to do this is to kind of bring us together. We want to unite businesses. We want to help encourage businesses to develop their DEI, their diversity, inclusion, and equity programs, lobby to hire more trans people, more LGBTQ people. We want to encourage our own community to start their own businesses, to create jobs, just to really bring our community together, unite them financially from the backbone of business, so that we can be as strong of a community as possible.
Yeah. Yes. So, you did some research on the numbers and to prove that we are facing these issues, and there's like top 11 points that we can talk about.
There are a number of issues, and we looked at a few studies, and we have those on the website if you want to go for more details, but based on different issues that our community faces. First is discrimination. 42% of the people in LGBTQ communities reported having been discriminated against just because of their sexual orientation. And so on the video, we're going to look through these numbers and have them on the screen. But if you're listening to us on a podcast where that's not visual, feel free to go to our YouTube channel and you'll be able to see these numbers. And also on our website, we will have links to the sources of all this information.
Yeah. So discrimination is a very, very big issue for trans people, LGBTQ people. Oftentimes we heard, somebody decided to transition and they get fired, or they not get accepted and they, lost their jobs.
Yeah, we think of several people we had on the show already.
Yes.
Catherine being one of them, Carrie having issues, really all of us to some extent. Yes. Right.
Yeah. So this is a major issue. So we're going to point out all the issues and we'll talk about how to resolve it.
Yes, exactly.
So
the number that kind of stood out for me was 78% of trans people have faced discrimination at some level. So that's, we hear the number 42%, a lot of 41% in terms of been with suicide ideation, but a number this huge is very significant and kind of really helps us frame the struggle that we all face on a daily basis with a number that large, 78%.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is unemployment. The trans community average unemployment rate is about 16% right now, which is 3 times the U.S. general population. So we 3 times higher are people out of work. And so we obviously know a lot of those reasons because of hostile work environments, not being in a safe enough place to come out.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in an industry that is very male dominated or just unsafe, period. Then just do something like this would be really difficult and challenging.
I was holding a job before I fully transitioned, and I got fired for no reason. But I wasn't really dressed up to work at that time. But my hair was long, and I lost weight, tried to look more slim, and again, no reason, and then just no in advance notice at all. Like usually say 2 weeks notice or something.
You have to wonder.
See. So, and I was about to, turn in the letters. Saying, I'm going to come out, I'm going to start. Yeah. So too bad. And but unemployment is also a very, very major issue for us.
Exactly.
Yes.
I have several friends online that I think about that have lost jobs or have just so much discrimination in what they currently have that they're looking for something else. So maybe they don't lose it by being terminated or letting go or laid off or anything, but because of its unsafe place, they have to find something else. So yeah. Then another interesting number is self-employment. The national average for entrepreneurs in our country is about 7%. But in our community, it's 18% is self-employed, which is very interesting. I think there's reasons why we are good entrepreneurs, but I think underlining this is we have to create our own stuff because some of the places that we've existed in before is not safe.
Yeah, so just like the last unemployment number is kind of just kind of carry to self-employment because if you unemployment or cannot get a job, so the only way you can do is create something like this. Yeah, so so just like the example I give you about immigration, so we came here, we don't know anyone, we don't know English, so the only way we can do is open business. So,
do it yourself, right?
Exactly.
And in that process, you learn so much doing that and simulate, with the way your family has been able to.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I think being the founder of TransOwned and knowing and being able to communicate and with the businesses that have joined so far, it's amazing the breadth of things that we have from landscaping to owning frame shops to candle making to counseling to life coaching. I mean, just such a wide range of unique, creative, wonderful things that our community is doing. So that's something that excites me a lot to see all the different things we're doing.
Yeah, everybody comes from different walks of life, experience. Sometimes a lot of fields I never know, and I just jump into it. So, I learn as we go. Yeah,
exactly. This was a big number here.
Oh, wow. 32%.
Go ahead. Transgender employees make 32% less than their cis counterparts. And so, again, there's a lot of reasons that we can unpack here, but this is a huge number. This is something that should make us all step back a little bit and say, wow, with what we faced this last year, or actually the last 3, 4, 5 years, and seeing that this number still exists in the workplace is amazingly sad.
Yeah, I think one major reason is because, just the previous reason, unemployment, discrimination. If you let's say I have a tech experience, like Tony was saying.
Right.
I have tech experience. I want to go back to tech after I transition, but they don't want me.
Right. Exactly.
So the only way to survive is like what I did before.
Yeah.
Try Uber, deliver DoorDash, and and I know some other girls or guys, they work in a grocery store.
Right.
So those are minimum wage.
It's
pay.
funny that you said that, because in one of the studies I was reading, they brought out that trans people are 3 times more likely to work in a convenience or grocery store than the rest of the population.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why, because we get pushed down.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can only make minimum wage.
Right.
That's why that number is so high.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And then we all know how COVID-19 has affected us individually, but as a community, it's been pretty devastating across. The highlighted one, there's the LGBTQ people of color are 44% more likely to take a cut in work hours, and trans people were 125% more likely to do so. So whether the business was open or closed, whatever their COVID protocol was, our community took the biggest hit in terms of those loss of hours.
Yeah, I think it's back to the last one, because the job that we can get, it's just, it can be replaced by anybody. Right. So that's why that number is so high, because if you work in a grocery store, if there's no business or the business not open, then they will let you go and they can find somebody tomorrow.
Exactly.
So that's why the number is high. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by KitCaster. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. How do funded startup founders attract prospects and talent? Podcast interviews. How do entrepreneurs with exits find new deals? Podcast interviews. How do C-suite execs differentiate in crowded markets? Podcast interviews. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. Click the link in the show notes for a special offer. Celebrate good conversation.
Since COVID-19, LGBTQ households are more likely to live in poverty. And this number was 28% of trans individuals are more likely to earn less than $25,000 a year. So 28% of our population is basically at or below the line of poverty for our country. And the general population is 14%, as you can see there.
Yeah. So same reason, I think what we just talked about, discrimination, unemployment, pay gap, and that's why it's all pushing down to make less.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another one here, 50% of trans individuals report that it's been difficult to pay for usual household expenses. This is since June of 2020 is when this status is come out. And I know for me, some of my personal finances struggled this year. There was some effect of COVID, but I don't know for me in particular it was necessarily because I'm trans, more that I got sick with COVID. I was out for 5 weeks and my company only paid for 2 weeks. And so I was out okay. I didn't lose my job or anything, but I didn't get paid. And then I missed probably another on and off 5 weeks because of headaches that I had from COVID. Right. And luckily those are all gone now, but I lost a lot of work and I got behind on my bills. And this year for me, kind of stepping out and starting my own business financially, that kind of put me at a little bit of a disadvantage because I was already in the hole when I was trying to actually launch and do my own thing. So it was challenging. And then fear. This is another big one that I think is we all can relate to no matter what background we're coming from in our community. About half, 50.4% of LGBT workers in the U.S. are not out to their supervisors. 1/4, 25%, are not out to anyone at work. comfortability with coming out can differ from gender and rank. And so men are more likely to be out at 80%, and women are 58% likely to be out across the LGBTQ community.
Right.
And this was interesting. Seniors are 80% more likely to be out than junior employees, which are 32%. So I think that's probably they have some seniority. They've been there longer.
Right.
They know how the corporation culture works.
Yes.
And so, but yeah. And then these were some tough numbers to read. As a white person, I know that part of my responsibility in being anti-racist is to speak up for the Black community and specifically the Black trans community. But these numbers were staggering. Black trans had an extremely high unemployment rate at 26%, 2 times the rate of the overall transgender population, but 4 times the rate of the general population. And 41% of Black trans people said they had experienced hopelessness at some point in their lives, more than 5 times the national average. And so those numbers are they are staggering, and we know that so many of our Black brothers and sisters are in trouble.
Right. And I also noticed just people of color in general, they also have a lot of business owner on their own.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's because of all the same reasons that we're facing. So there's no, that's the only way they can survive.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Yes. And we do see a lot of people talking about their small businesses online, even some GoFundMe campaigns that have come out to help Black trans housing and things. So I want to encourage everyone, if you can, if you're coming from a place of means or a place of resource, feel free, do give back, do those, use those venues or those vehicles in order to help our community. But also, this being Pride Month, if you're buying your Pride gear, look for the Black or the people of color trans creators online. Yeah. The T-shirts, there's tons of amazing stuff out there. Yes. And you can look at another plug, but transzone.co for these businesses, but just search online. There's so many great things out there. Yeah. So these are one of the ways that we can help provide for our community internally.
Yes. So now we're going to talk about how to solve those problems.
Yes.
Like you and I had some experience of solving some of those problems that we just mentioned.
Right.
Yeah. So let's say starting from pandemic, I didn't lose my job, but my 9 to 5 at that time, still 9 to 5 right now, same one, but it was cut to part-time. Right. And my boss was not very comfortable for us to work from home. Yeah. So because she's more old school, so she doesn't have the sense of controlling.
Yes,
that's why.
Right.
But the good part is I was able to learn a lot of stuff during those times that I worked part time, and just like how like when you drive to your streets or anywhere, have you ever drive somewhere and then you walk one time and you discover a lot of different things?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, including myself, that's what happened because we were always in a rat race.
Yeah.
We run,
right.
go, but we never stop and look around and see, So that's what happened to me because I was nothing to do and think of what can I do, So I started reading and reading really opened my mind to many different things. Okay. Yeah. So
first of all, the things you read.
Well, first of all, this can be related to you too because we talk about unemployment.
Yes. So
in today's world, in society, a lot of stuff or a lot of jobs or career are on uncertainty, especially today, right now, because the inflations and all that. So what I discover is side hustles, because from school we learn, we go to school, get a good grade, and we find a good job. Right. So what because I got part time, so I have to find some different ways of make it up for my expense.
Right.
So I started a lot of side hustles. Yeah, which is also open to a lot of opportunities. So like yourself, you have Transong, and you have now you got
I'm
license.
switching up a little bit into financial services.
Right. So congrats. Right. Yeah. So and all other guests that we interview, totally. Everybody's doing a lot of different things. Right. So one solution to unemployment, or even if you are self-employed, you can branch out to different niches, different spaces. Yeah. So doing podcasts, even though it's been very long dream that I want to do, but pandemic make it happen for me. Yeah. So because I learned all those stuff, that knowledge that I read from the book, so I can talk about it today.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So besides that, we talk about financial. So I also came across some, I won't say trick, but ways that I've been doing for the last 2 years. Yeah. Okay. So I want to share with you guys. But then I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just sharing what I've been doing. It's working. So you always need to consult financial advisor on this. Yeah. So the first thing I learned is it's called pay yourself first.
Pay yourself
first. Yeah. What that means is a lot of time we want to invest, we want to do something else with our money, but a lot of time we heard, I don't have money, right? Or I'll wait until I can make $100,000, right? Exactly. So it's like we always chasing. Yeah. Meaning if we really get to 100,000 a year, we probably gonna say, oh, let's wait until 200,000. Exactly. Yeah, because and then we will never, because I have a lot of friends that's older than me. Mm-hmm. They're boomers, baby boomers, and I'm not putting anybody down, but it's reality that a lot of baby boomers they are at the age to retire right now, but they can't because they don't have retirement. Exactly. They don't have saving or investments. So they have to keep working. So I tell myself I do not want to work at Walmart when I'm 65. Exactly. So so I find this is very helpful. Pay yourself first.
So how does that work? Does that mean setting aside money for investing? Or
how does it work is every time I get paid, I will take let's say W-2 wage, right? W-2 incomes. I will take 20% out before I pay credit card, utility, rent, and everything. Just kind of like this is the expense that you have to pay. Yes, and it's called W-2. We get our money after tax. Right. So just imagine your tax is 20% more. Right. So this is money. So what I did is I take out 20%, and I put I take 65% and put in IRA. Okay. Maybe not that much per paycheck, but imagine. If this is like a system or strategy, if I keep doing this over time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So IRA. So and then I put 15% towards crypto. If you believe in crypto, a lot of people scared of crypto. So I believe in crypto is the future, and I believe the blockchain.
Yes.
Okay.
Blockchain
technology. And 10% I invest to real estate stuff. Okay. Real estate, this is not like the actual physical real estate. It's more like REITs.
Yes.
Meaning like a fund that everyone contribute, and they buy properties or rental with your money.
Fractional shares.
Yes. So
what are some of those websites?
One is fundraise. Yes, I will put it down in the in the show note. Yeah. So and then IRA, I have I have it with Fidelity.
Okay.
But we have Catherine that they
yes,
can help.
exactly.
Yeah.
LGBTQ, I invest.
Yeah. So we will put her information
Yes.
at the show note. And last 10%, I put, I save it in a saving as a cash.
Cash, okay.
Yeah. So this number, it's based on age, because if let's say if I'm 20, still in my 20s, I might not not saving any cash, because cash has inflation, right?
Yes.
So you save cash 20 years ago, it's nothing today, right? So and then if you go, if your age is higher, like say 60, then your cash, you want to have more cash and less IRA.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're younger, your IRA should be higher. Okay. So that way you have time to compound. Yeah.
Right. And get the tax advantages there.
Right. And this is for W-2 employments. Mm-hmm. And I also, like we say, we have side hustles and all that. So if you are 1099 or any sort of freelancing or any, business, you run a business, usually business, my writing is bad. Usually business is no tax. So whatever comes into your pocket, it's not tax deductible yet. Yeah. So what I do with that income is I break it down like similar. So I take 35%, 35%, put this in as a tax reserve. Okay. In case I need to pay tax. Okay. And this goes back to business budget. Okay. Okay. And then I pay myself 30%. Okay. Yeah. And with this, what I do is I put 20% buying stocks. And these stocks are more like an individual stock. Okay. Like if you believe in Amazon, Tesla, those individual account. On top of here, IRA, it's also stock, but it's more like it's called ETF. Yes. It's a holding company that holds S&P 500 companies. Right. Okay. So you have less risk. That's why I put it in my retirement account. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And for the stock, individual stock, it's more risky. Like it can go up and down, and down. So you have to have a very good mindset when you do this, because it's a lot of people fearful. So when they see it go down, they sell it, they lose money. Exactly. So if it goes down, if you don't sell it, you're actually not losing money. And another thing is mindset. You know how every time there's discounts or sales in department store, everybody run towards it. Right. But when Amazon stock is going down on sale, everybody run away from it. See? So that's the big difference here. So that's why when you do any type of investment, you have to have a good mindset. Like crypto it's crashing right now. It's a good time to buy right now. Yeah, it's a good time to buy right now. You buy low, sell high. Right. So the book that I read, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, he mentioned when you buy investment to determine if you're going to make money is when you buy, not when you sell. Right. Yeah. So good. Very good. Mm-hmm. Okay. So and another 10% from here, I invest into gold. Okay. Gold. Yeah, the physical gold. Yeah. I'll put a link in the show note. This is very unique because I put 10% little bit, and it adds up until your money add up can afford to buy a gold. Okay. And it's online. It's not really go in the store and then you buy gold and bring it home. Exactly. So put it into your mattress. Yeah. So this gold is not to make money or anything, because gold is more like how do you call it? Hedge for inflation? Yes. Hedge. Yeah. Hedge. Yes. Yeah. Hedge for inflation. So gold has been centuries, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is what I've been doing with my financial, and it's working. So I just share with you guys. Excellent. Yeah. So
that's some really good practical steps there. Thank you so much for laying that out. This is some goals for you to build to, get your bills paid off, get out of debt as much as possible, create that emergency account that you may need.
Yeah.
And then you can really focus on developing wealth and growing. Or I love the thought, or the philosophy, but the thought of your money working for you, as opposed to you just working for money.
Right. And you're right. You have to save emergency fund. I missed that part. I do save emergency fund for 6 to 12 months.
Oh, that's
not
good one.
more
Yeah.
than.
Yeah.
Don't save more than 12 months. Otherwise, you're losing value on the cash.
Yeah.
And also on the if you can see tax reserve, a lot of time, as you know, as a business owner, you have a lot you can write off.
Right.
So a lot of time, I don't want IRS come to me, but a lot of time after the write-off, I don't have to pay too much tax. Doesn't not 35%.
Right.
So all those money can distribute back to myself, and it's not taxable.
Right.
Or I can go on vacation.
Yes.
It's like a dividend for
Right.
me. Or
exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly what it is.
yeah. And then now I'm actually saving it for real estate down payment on this
There you go.
portion
I know a good real estate agent.
Thank you. Yeah. So what about you? What do you have any tips and hacks? to
Well,
share?
financially for me, it has been a very difficult year.
Mhm.
And I wish I knew what I knew now a few months earlier, because now I'm learning about the products where you can roll over, for example, like roll over your 403B or 401k
Mhm.
and get a bonus of 20 to 35%, and some really amazing products that are out there.
Right.
But I didn't do that. I took that out for my business loan.
Right.
And so right now I have no retirement. I took it all off.
Okay.
And so now it's been really rebuilding. And so that helped me get incorporated, the business established,
Mhm.
and cost of living, regular living expenses. And now I'm trying to step in to having some income and kind of building that back up and building that emergency fund, and then get into a program that you've laid out here. So.
Yeah. So to solve one of the issue that we're facing, unemployment,
Yes.
or pay gap.
Pay gap, right?
Yeah. So the best one of the best way is have your own business, generate income. You can still, like myself, I still work 9 to 5, but I have my own business.
Yeah.
That's gonna protect, if anything, knock on wood, if I get laid off or fired for whatever reason, I have my own business to fall back on. Another thing we can all improve, like yourself as well, is skill set. Mm-hmm. Because during COVID, I learned a lot of new things through YouTube or books. It's very available out there right now. So, so if you want to change career, you can look into that. New skill sets.
Google is offering some amazing courses now for a low or no cost that you can totally get certified to change careers from anything to something that's very computer focused, that is your skill set that you can develop right there. And so it's really just an amazing time to be able to figure out things that you're interested in. Yeah,
there's some website like Teachable. There's many different individual people share what they know. Can be from like tech or language too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so
or starting a small business, or reading, or languages, anything. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Well, we just want to encourage you to know the reality of where we are as a community in order to help grow. And so we need a lot of individual, financially stable members that will help us grow and become financially successful across the board. And it is time, and there's things against us. There's, kind of some societal trends now that are making it more difficult than it should be. But working together, I think we can accomplish a lot. Yeah, because if you're financial independent or stable, you are able to give
more.
Absolutely.
So not just about money,
Right.
but time,
Right.
when you're not struggling, when you're not stressed out or depressed, you have the time to help others and
Right.
do all that. Yeah. And another thing, usually don't get into politics stuff too much, but another thing I heard from actually a LGBT chambers of commerce in Long Beach. One time we have a meeting and this guy, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, the mayor of Signal Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the mayor of Signal Hill. So one thing I want to say is, if we want to change the world of how the policy is doing, we need to be in office.
Yeah.
So by doing that, we need to improve ourselves, skill set, knowledge, financial, everything. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So
exactly right.
Yeah. So,
and for us, and probably for many other states, voting is next week. And so be sure you're getting out there. You're being vocal for what you believe our community needs. And so we need your voice in that. So together we are stronger than we are individually. Mm-hmm. We welcome conversations with starting your own business, more of these stats that we went over today. Mm-hmm. Coming together as a community is important. And together we can stand longer and stronger than we can by ourselves. And so let's take this time, unite, come together. This is a great month to do this in Pride.
Yes.
Focus, and make sure you're supporting our own businesses. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you are learning how and taking the steps to become financially stable yourself.
Yes, financial literacy is very important.
Yes.
Knowledge. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And we'll have more guest speakers come in that can highlight more of these issues that we're talking with. So thank you for listening. Again, in the show notes on the website, you'll have the resources, or the sources, rather, I keep saying resources, the sources of all this data that we went over. But we welcome conversation and feedback, and subscribe, click all that fun stuff. Help us to get the word out even longer.
Yes. Thank you for watching, listening, and we'll be back next time.
All right. See you
Happy
later.
Pride.
Bye-bye.
Bye.